and welcome to Esper's anniversary. Yes, we have been here for 1 whole year.
So we thought we'd have a little party to thank everyone, all our workers, but also to say goodbye to our favourite yard employee, Mr. Young, who's leaving today.
Right.
You've seen all the sailors' work on the boat. Well, here is the man that did it all for us.
Thank you, Young.
Thank you, Young.
And thank you, Un, who's been here all the way with us. And also we've got some of our other workers over there as well. So here's to the next year.
Cheers.
With the launch date of the 20th February pencilled in, we never thought we'd be on the hard for a year. But aside from a few headaches, we have thoroughly enjoyed our time here at PSS. We wanted to thank the workers, specifically Young, and get the other yachtists together for a little party. So we gathered around Esper in an area that is now named Esper Corner, and parted into the wee small hours.
Anywhere near, man. Away with him, Mike. Away with you. Away with you. Come away from my thing.
There's always one, and it's always Tony.
Partying aside, we still have some pretty crucial jobs to complete before launching. Here's Jamie with a quick summary.
Okay, so here we are at the back of the engine, and if you remember, we had a stuffing box which we've taken out, and we were going to put in a dripless seal. Unfortunately, and we're not quite sure whose fault this is, I had thought my shaft was 38mm in diameter, and it turns out it's not. It's 1.5 inches, which means it's a difference of 0.1, 0.2 millimeters in diameter. So unfortunately the dripless seal which I had ordered, which came with a 38mm rotor, doesn't fit. So we've had to send that back to the vendor in Phuket, and he just says that he does have an 1.5 inch rotor which we're going to have to replace. However, when we were working on this, and I say we because Brendan of Aldebaran Bay came over, and he's a mechanic by trade, so he was able to help out. We noticed that there is some kind of fuel leak, and it's collecting down here. It was quite significant, probably a few tablespoons collecting in over 12 hours. So unfortunately I've had to trace that back, and we're now in the rear cabin, and the fuel was coming down through here and through here, and the only way I could get to see where it was coming from was to take out the calorifier, and somewhere down here is the leak. Now it's really difficult to spot because the colour of our bilges are the same colour as diesel, where the paint's come away, and I've cleared it all up, and I think the leak is actually coming from one of the fuel lines. That's the return fuel line. This is the fuel out from the tanks that takes it to the engine. There's no fuel here. There is fuel there. I can only assume that one of these two pipes is corroded. So the next step is to go to Saturn tomorrow and replace these with flexible hosing, because the leak only happens when I turn that tap on. Anyway, it's that set us back by a couple of days, and even when I put that all back, we're still going to have to wait for the new dripless seal to arrive. Mechanics came in last week, and we attempted to start the engine, and unfortunately it wouldn't start. So we took off the starter motor, and the lads took the starter motor and the solenoid down to a workshop. They came back within an hour, having repaired the solenoid which had stuck. So they fitted it all back on. We started the engine successfully, only for the engine not to stop. So this means that we have to get Sombat in to have a look at the either the relay or the stop switch on the panel. Electricians have pretty much finished the chart table area, And I will at some point go through this in more detail for those interested, but we've fitted up the Ais Transponder, and it's successfully sending and receiving, but it's still not sending the signal to our B&G plotter, so that's something we need to have a look at.
With all this work still to do, it may seem like little has happened in the last few weeks, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The carpentry is complete, and even the electricians have ticked off the major jobs. Over to Jamie, who's been inspecting some of Jung's fantastic stainless.
It's a very windy day today, so I hope this bit of footage comes out okay. Just wanted to quickly talk about the stainless work. So as you know, we have davits, and they are to hold up our Portabote. And one of the problems we have with the Portabote is that we had no points in which to fix the rope to haul it up on. So one of the things that Jung has made are these plates. We've got 2 on each side, and on the other side we have these little hooks. They've been bolted at 4 points, and they follow the seats, so when the boat is hauled up, the Portabote, which is very flexible, doesn't fold out of shape. One of the other problems we had with the Portabote was the transom and the flap which goes over the back of the transom, which used to be made of plastic, and unfortunately over the years, because we'd folded it so many times, the plastic had ripped. So Jung has made this very nice stainless hinge. The outboard's been serviced, and we've finally fitted on that teak holding plate. And this is our $50 barbecue that we got made in India. Unfortunately, the guy that made it was put in prison and didn't quite finish the job, so it was only spot welded and it was never polished. So what the team have done here is to weld it properly, polish it up so it looks new, but most impressively is this little arm on which it sits, which allows us to swing it in and out. So we can put it into any position when we're either sailing or at anchor having a little barbecue. Okay, one thing that was omitted in my absence when I was back in the UK when they put the tow rail in was the fair lead in the middle of the boat. So Jung has been hard at work custom making our fair leads. That's a beautiful bit of engineering, that. So they've been designed to fit over our shorter tow rail. This is the original, and the depth is quite different, as you can see. Ton, what are you doing this afternoon?
Afternoon, I don't know.
Ton's almost finished.
Yeah.
Hooray! Ton, meanwhile, has been cracking on with the last of the carpentry. Here in the galley, we thought that the brushed stainless Wilson art laminate that we've used looked a little unfinished around the edges. So what we've got Ton to do is to take some pine and just put some thin beading around here, which I've added a few coats of polyurethane, which I've added, for fuck's sake, I've added a few coats of polyurethane to. Ton's also done the same in Liz's office, and we just wanted to put these in just so that when we grab things off the shelves it doesn't wear the corners of the nice new veneer, and the same on the 2 single bunks, which are generally used for storage. And finally, Liz has got her little table swinging prevention gizmo, which just locks in place and holds that table when we're at sea. We have 6 cockpit speakers in total, 2 of which sit in the well by the binnacle. Now this means that the back end of them protrudes inside the boat. Previously we just had a little frame with a rattan kind of network on it just to cover it up, but now what we're going to do is, having had these frames made by Ton, is to use some of our Indian artwork we bought a couple of years ago, so it will actually become a feature rather than an annoying little unsightly obstacle. This is the blanking cap for our saloon pedestal, and we've even got a little key as well, which Jung has made, so it just means that when we're not using the table we can just pop that down to give it a nice little finish. One of the other bits of stainless that Jung's been working on is the bow plate. Unfortunately, since the top sides were faired and filled, it had changed the profile of the bow, so Jung has made a new plate which we've stuck on with adhesive. How many fish are we catching today, Tony?
10.
How big?
Tomorrow.
Oh, at least that.
Our time at PSS has been altogether positive, but sometimes it's important to get away for a day or two. Last weekend we were invited to join Gia and Julie aboard a fishing boat for the night, which would depart from Pakbara, a port about an hour's drive north up the coast. Of course, we may all look like a bunch of tourists, but you're actually dealing with some professional fishermen here. We all fish, everyone here fishes. So we're expecting a big haul this evening. Julie, what are you going to catch for us today?
Squids first, and then tomorrow we'll catch big fish.
It's alright, you keep taking the video, I'll just carry all the bags.
Yep. Someone's got to do the hard work.
So what are you going to catch for us, Jamie?
I'm going to catch a cold first, and then I'm going to, I don't know, we're not using rods, we're going to be trolling lines out the back, just on a handrail, and then when we're at anchor we're just going to hang some over the side just to jig, but again it's just on a little handrail, and we'll show you don't need all this expensive equipment to catch a big fish.
And it's your first time on a fishing boat, Thai fishing boat?
No, I've been on a couple of little smaller fishing boats. I haven't been on one this size, not big enough to sleep on, so this will be exciting, good fun, looking forward to it. First time back in the water in months. I was hoping it was going to be an our boat, but no, that'll be in a few weeks' time. It looks like Tony's found his bunk.
I've got my bunk. Give us a shout when we get close to the island. And we're going a bit further. We're going to go where the big fish are.
That's right.
Next door boat, the small ones, we're going to go to a place where they're a bit bigger. So we're going to get a good feed of fish on this front, boys. We've got that much fishing gear on this boat. It's unbelievable. If we don't catch it, we all better give up and just hang ourselves.
Yeah, this video isn't going public if we don't catch anything.
Okay. Anyway, you know we're all here.
Remember, this was to be our first time on the water since Esper was hauled out last year, but it took all of a second once the lines were slipped to get back into the flow of life afloat. The next 24 hours were to be an education for us, especially because we often see the horizon littered with squid fishing boats when we're at anchor. Squid boats use an array of brightly coloured lights, sometimes green, sometimes red, and for years we never understood what they meant. It would all become clear in due course.
How many are you aiming for today, Gia?
For 2 tons of fish. Black marlin, actually.
Yeah. So that's
Get it, yeah.
4 fish, yeah?
First, we nipped down the coast to do a spot of jigging. No, that's not a nautical dance, it's a method of catching squid on a line. Gia, whose favourite food happens to be squid, was in full swing the moment the anchor was dropped, and the first to catch a squid.
Yeah. I heard a little rumour you caught something.
Yeah, squid. The first squid for today.
And it was taken off your hands immediately by Tony, who's done something with it. What's he done?
It's a sashimi. Wow, and now it's been kept in the ice box, and soon after that we're gonna have it together with the wasabi and Japanese sauce. Wow,
lovely.
sounds so good. Yeah.
The two crew put out outriggers, two large bamboo poles which we thought were for stabilising the boat. As the sun dropped below the horizon, the first of the coloured lights was switched on, which was green. This is used when line fishing and jigging off the side. Gia, with his choice of 7 rods he'd brought with him, continued to make impressive catches, in particular an angry cuttlefish.
Yeah, cuttlefish.
Yeah, they're nice. Quick, you're going to lose him. Get him inside. Yes.
Oh, go for it. Go for it, Tony. Remember those cuttlefish I caught in Turkey? Inked everything.
See, he's done it again. Gia didn't have a moment of glory. Tony whips it off his line. Lacking everywhere.
I got the full whack. I got the full whack of it. How much did you get?
I got a big lot of it too.
A bit of ink.
Across the deck.
A bit of ink, yeah, they stopped them.
No, Jan, your GPS too. Sit down for a
Well into the evening, the crew decided it was time to change the lights and put those 2 outriggers to use. A net is brought out and the 2 crew unravelled it, ready to drop into the water. The green light was turned off to be replaced by a red light. This has the effect of bringing both squid and fish to the surface before the net is then pulled up and the plentiful catch scooped out the water and into a submerged water tank in the bow of the boat.
I enjoy a spot of fishing, but Liz is mildly obsessive about it and stayed up until 3 in the morning with her line. During the night we motored up the coast and I awoke to some early morning action from Tony Windrose, who, it turns out, is a bit handy with a fishing rod.
Just the outer shell, yeah.
I managed to catch a few, including this double caught on video by Julie.
Magic. 2 in 1.
Trade secret.
There's a 2 in 1 for Jamie.
Got it with a little diddler that was there.
I know, I saw that little one, yeah.
So
We're both fighting over it, weren't they?
that was 2 hooks, 1 little fish. Any idea what they are?
They're grouper.
Are they? Tony, however, was unstoppable. He hit double figures early and only stopped for a beer after bagging his 20th grouper.
Somebody's lying.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And the sea's dropped off, hasn't it? So we haven't got to cling on quite so much.
Looking for the fruit. The old fruit. Cheese.
With our bounty of squid, grouper and 2 beautiful Spanish mackerel, it was time to return and stoke up the barbie back in the yard. We had enough fish to feed all the yachties and the workers.
Goodman, good food? Yeah. How's the yard dog? We're going to round off a video clip with our little fishing trip with a great big plate of fish, but of course I was a bit too late, it's all been eaten. However, we have Tony, the man, the king fisherman. What do we call you? What's your title? The machine, the fishing machine.
Captain
Tony, what are you preparing for us? Is this some...
I'm doing a Philippine dish here. It's called kinilaw.
Kinilaw.
Kinilaw. It's basically raw fish, very fresh fish, raw, and chopped up small bits of shallots. That's what I'm doing now, and little bits of garlic. Not too much garlic. And then you put heaps of lemons or limes or whatever you can get your hands on, and let it cook in the citrus juices of the limes. And it's very famous in the Philippines. They drink and they eat this all night long because it makes you thirsty. But it's really nice taste. Well, you've had some yourself, haven't you?
I have, and it's fantastic. It reminded me of the first time I caught a game fish, which was a dorado, crossing the Atlantic, and first thing we did was sashimi it. Made sashimi out of it, and it's this really meaty white meat with lemon juice and, as you say, not too much in the way of herbs and spices. Just
simplify it. You don't want it too complicated. Because it's the fish that you can taste, the freshness of the fish. You're getting the enzymes out of it, you know. Yeah, looks after our immune system. That's enzymes.
Didn't look after your sunburn though, did it?
No, but that will sort itself out eventually.
We cook so much fish, there is enough for everyone, but for some reason the Burmese workers are a little bit shy. They don't want to come and eat with us. There's not enough room to eat, so Tay and Tony and Julie are going to wander through to the Burmese workers' compound and give out some of this lovely fish. They've looked after us in the past. We've had a few celebrations, weddings and so on, and they've cooked for us, so this is the least we can do for them.
That's right, and to share, Jamie.
To share, exactly.
To share is one of the greatest life's pleasures, I think.
Blah, blah.
Finally, we had to tell you about a new craze that's sweeping through the boatyard. When Jamie got his clippers out to cut yard worker Tay's hair one evening, a queue started forming outside his makeshift salon.
Welcome to Jamie's parlour. I've been very busy this week. I've done 2 haircuts so far. The most popular haircut seems to be the old mohawk. I have a willing client here.
Mad.
Now, sir, what
I've lost half my brain.
would you like?
Can I go to famous Jamie Mohican?
The famous Jamie Mohawk.
Famous Jamie Mohawk. Apparently, it's a real trend-setting thing, and heaps of chicks are going to love you. Not on my God.
Here we go. So we're just going for a simple number 4.
That's number 1. Wait a minute, stop. Give me a look. Let me feel that. Yeah, no worries.
They're always nervous when we first start, but
Well, you don't trust Jamie with your hair, do you?
I get them to relax, and within a few minutes they want more and more off. So
He doesn't even have a mirror here to check it.
anything for the weekend, sir?
Yes, a tip at the races.
Within the space of 5 days, 6 men are now sporting haircuts of various styles, with the most popular being the mohawk.
I like the angle here.
It's very good. Yeah, sharp.
Look up.
Doesn't matter if it's a little bit rusty.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Just turn around again. Go on there.
Jesus Christ. When are you going to get a swivel chair, Jamie? You running a business here or what?
Pretty much there, you know.
That's it then.
What do you reckon, Liz?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you got it. The angle's really good on the back, on the side there.
This is our original customer, Tay. As you can see, he has a beautiful mohawk. But it's already grown out, so we're just going to give him a little trim here. Furlong style. We're going right down to the bone here. Look at that.
It won't be long before every liveaboard in Thailand will be sporting this retro haircut.
Right.